Sure thing.
Okay, hello, welcome to TwinStick Gaming, playing The Last of Us on PS4, very popular choice for us in the TwinStick offices. News this evening, so if you're joining the cast later on, if you might want to head back to the start and kind of pick up with us from where we our first discussions. We will of course be interrupted by getting shot at and shooting other people, like this guy here. There we go.
Ooh, there he is.
And trying to keep each other alive.
There's a guy at the window. And he's got me. It's alright, rescued by teammates. So it's a good start to the broadcast. We've already been interrupted by the intense gameplay.
Yeah.
Everybody's dying.
Always a great start. Thankfully, you spend a good portion of the game being dead as well, which gives you a bit more this evening. Some of which are Last of Us related, many of which are not. Should we kick off with the Last of Us news, do you think?
Yeah, well, it makes sense, you know.
Yeah.
Obviously the old Left Behind being announced as a standalone DLC. I'm a bit confused by it, but fair enough. Well, I mean, you walk me through that.
Yeah, it's as far as I'm concerned, it was a very puzzling choice to make the Last of Us is, and I would say it's outstanding downloadable content, but make it a standalone prospect, which is for me a very odd choice. It's a fantastic game, definitely, but the DLC component to it kind of only makes sense as part of the whole game. It's a really odd choice to kind of put it out there as a standalone thing for me. Anyway, we were sort of discussing this before as far as gateway drugs to get you hooked into a game go. I mean, in terms of the quality of the game, Left Behind absolutely stands up. But I'm just wondering if the story really stands up without the context of The Last of Us. I mean, not to drift too heavily into spoiler territory here. In The Last of Us, at the end of The Last of Us, there is there's a few different twists and turns, many of which, if you've played the game, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. If you haven't played it, I'll try to avoid ruining for you. But it's it's a very strange choice to do that, because there's certainly some story elements that are touched upon, and a kind of a big reveal, a big deal at the end of The Last of Us, which then made playing through the DLC with that knowledge, it kind of made that story more impactful, and I thought quite interesting because of it. And I think to kind of have that already kind of ruined for you, I suppose, to kind of do it that way around, just doesn't quite work for me. It's just not sitting right. It's like you're going to know the ending of the game before you kind of get in there and find the rest of it out.
What's the thing? Because there obviously are elements to that, because it is a prequel to Left Behind, and the fact that you've got.
Well, it isn't. It's a prequel that kind of also takes place in sort of in the middle of the actual main game itself. It's an unusual one, very unique.
But yeah, so I mean, I think the thing that's like a bit of a surprise for the actual reasoning behind it, it's just like, as we were saying before, anyone who owns the PS4 has got it anyway, so they're not going to be able to way, shape or form. And I'm just trying to work out who is going to buy it. It's meant to be, I'm guessing, targeted at those who...
Maybe those who are still maybe making their mind up whether they want to play the game or not, I guess, but, I mean, it's a bit of a strange one, isn't it?
It is a bit of a surprise. Hey, hut. There's a shiv.
Nicely done. Oh,
considering I've got a guy behind me. Oh, we've got an extra player now, finally, which helps.
I've been trying to fight on with Nice, one guy upstairs. Trying to fight him with just the two of us for most of this.
We have been
Not
struggling.
particularly
Now we've got
easy.
But we're not out the game. That's a good thing.
Not yet. There's a guy up the other staircase as well at the moment.
That's one down. Okay.
Oh god. Bombs galore. Oh, we have got 4v4 now though. You're the only one standing, by the way.
Right.
So yeah, personally, as much as it does encourage people to play the last, that's a brilliant thing. But I just don't see how a short little story, effectively, is going to encourage you to play what is quite an epic, grueling, heartfelt saga.
Yeah.
So I don't know, as good as Left Behind is. I mean, I have to admit I still haven't played it, but apparently as it's supposed to be, is I think people would rather play the main game first. So
yeah, definitely. I mean, that's the advice. That's the advice. That's actually the advice we gave on the site, that to make sure that you play the main game first and then go into Left Behind.
Well, this is the thing. If Naughty Dog were like wanting you to play it that way, they would have released it that way. Surely.
Yeah.
That makes sense. It's the same with any of these games that end up having prequels. They're there to maybe flesh things out, to explore a different aspect of the game, but not necessarily meant to be the order you play it in. Although, I suppose you could play in that order, but as you say, it would reveal certain things about the main game itself, and for those who haven't played it, it is going to be a bit of a letdown in that respect. You're going to expect certain moments within the game now, which is a bit of a shame, because the aspect of it would be you want the high impact that The Last of Us provides, and unfortunately it would just quell a bit of that. Although, as I say, you got that counterbalance that if someone, I think it's $7.99, is it, to download?
It's about that.
But I mean, you'll have to tell me yourself. Do you think the gameplay and the way the story goes would be enough to make people play The Last of Us, or is it the other way around? It's intended for people who have played The Last of Us.
Really, I think, I mean, it was intended as just a fantastic kind of additional chapter and extra information kind of into the world of The Last of Us. I don't, as brilliant as it is, I don't see it on just playing that. If you've played The Last of Us, it's awesome. Get it in there. You get more time with the characters you've loved. You get a fleshed out story of a world. You get more time in a world, and it's a brilliant story, brilliantly told. But if you don't know the characters, you don't know the world, you don't know the story. I mean, you don't care about Ellie. You don't particularly care about Joel yet, because you haven't journeyed with them yet. And the strange thing is, I'd kind of almost understand it more if they just released it on PS3 as a standalone, because you might own The Last of Us on PS3. You might have played and loved The Last of Us on PS3, but you might not have played it on played Left Behind. You might just never have seen it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
On the season pass. So
yeah, I mean, obviously we bought it, got the season pass, and got stuck straight in. I got stuck straight into it, but you own it, even though you've not played it. You own Left Behind. So why they brought it to PS4 as a standalone, even when even when basically it's already on the PS4 disc. If you own The Last of Us.
Sugar, I'm down.
Hey, I just realised we're on different teams.
Oh, that's a nice change.
Yeah, it certainly is.
There you go. Oh yeah, manned him, by the way.
Yeah, thanks for that. My teammate is really helping me out. Yeah, you heard right. I've only got the one.
Have you only got one team?
Yeah, it's 2-on-4.
I wonder why you guys are so standoffish. Still, I got put down by the fact that there was only two of you playing, so that says a lot about my gameplay style.
Hold on, I can patch
Where
you up.
did you run off to?
I've been getting killed at the top.
I can only assume in the case of this imbalanced team that you were on a team of 4v4. And all of a
Yeah,
sudden
two
a
of them
couple
dropped
people
out.
dropped
Oh, actually, I think we might have been on a team of 3, and one guy's looked at it and gone, nah, not for me, mate. But yeah,
Okay.
so if you've just joined us, we're just discussing the fact that Left Behind, the amazing Last of Us DLC, has been released or is about to be released as a standalone game, and we're just questioning whether this is really the right choice for that game. Because when it's fleshing out
I'll be
a brilliant world, it's ace. But as a standalone thing, I'm just not sure.
I guess the proof will be in the pudding when if they get the sales that they're expecting from it.
Yeah.
Or is it just a case of we can make this a $7.99 thing? We might get something from it. Let's see how it goes. Do you think it's a trial idea to see for like future releases?
Possibly, maybe. I'm not sure.
Well, either way, it'll be interesting how that pans out for Naughty Dog. Obviously, we're massive fans of Naughty Dog games. We want it to work out for them so we can have more Naughty Dog games.
Yeah, definitely.
There you go. So let's see how that one works out.
Just feel like it's not the right choice.
And you clever man.
Yeah, I don't think I might get ganked in the process. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a lot of guys around.
I got you.
You got it.
I got you.
Fair play. Touche. Right, that's it. I'm gonna have to up my game now.
This broadcast just took a very different turn. It's basically the game. Whatever happens in the game, it's just me versus you.
Yeah,
which, by the way,
this thing often works out.
which, by the way, to anyone watching, that's what you should do if you end up, despite being in a party, if you end up on different teams, you should be trying to take your buddy down. You should not pair up with the other team and try and highlight where your in-game teammates are, because that's just crappy behaviour, and we have been on the receiving end of that.
That's we were not happy. I wish name and shame.
Yeah, I wish I could name and shame, and I would.
I can't remember who it was.
No, I've got no idea.
Hello. Oh no,
Goodbye.
Not for that.
Oh, nicely done. Finally, someone gets round me.
Oh no, until your teammate. Oh, still got it though. Still got it.
Don't know if he's going to stay alive long enough to get you.
I know what you're like. The amount of times you put a bomb at your feet. You did it before, and the second I threw the smoke bomb. It's a dirty move. If you haven't played The Last of Us multiplayer and you realise you're in an impossible situation, it's a dirty tactic, but a legitimate one, because dying is better than being interrogated. Put a bomb at your feet. If a guy manages to put you down, interrogates you, and doesn't see the bomb, he will get blown up and he will not get the interrogation. I'm too used to Spookle Beans doing that to other players that I wasn't going to fall for it. As tempted as I was to run in and get that smoke shot, no, not happening. Did that the right way. Shoot the bomb at the feet first. If they die, they die, but that doesn't end up killing you and you don't feel like an idiot for doing it.
But yeah, just too wise to me at this point.
Oh, it's still 4v2. Whoa. Wait a minute.
We had a third briefly, but he didn't like the look of it.
One less to worry about. Uniform.
Oh, man.
Hello.
You do realise how hard I worked to try and get that interrogation?
I know.
I'm bleeding out of here.
Oh,
Nice.
I was hoping to smoke him.
I got you.
Oh, he's going to revive me? No, you've got a buddy coming in.
No!
Nice
No, I
try.
literally had a millisecond. I was tempted to try and sort of squeeze into that room in the back there, but I thought I'm not going to make it. You're going to see me. So I thought hiding around the corner might be enough.
Well, I don't know what the actual level of my teammate is. It says 0 on here, but he's outplaying most of the people here, to be quite honest. Oh, you guys get it though. You got it first.
Oh.
Now we're in trouble.
Yes, you are. Sorry, well, this is the thing. You've done really well considering there is
I know.
largely just two here. Apparently, I stopped an enemy kill streak. Your guy was racking up some points.
Surprised we
Top of
managed
my
this.
team, but still that guy. Yeah, he's definitely done some justice for you. Let's have a look. Where's your lockbox going to appear? Where are you going to appear? Actually, more. That should be my key thing right now.
One down. Fire in the hole.
There's always one that waits for me and then ruins my fun.
That would be me.
That would be you.
I'm too used to you being sat back a little bit and waiting for that opportune moment that I thought, if I just double back even further.
Oh no, man. Shit. Oh, this is no good. Nothing to throw, nothing to use.
I'm wounded.
No, dead. Ganked.
Oh, and some guy. Oh, one of our guys dropped from the game.
I was going to miss out on some
Shame we came a
massive
bit too
points
late.
there. Oh, I'm surprised I did as well as I did. Yeah, so anyway, we are not sold on Left Behind as DLC. Head over to TwinStickGaming.com and search for Last of Us Left Behind. In fact, I think just Left Behind, and you come up with two options, one of which is the spoiler-free review, and one of which is the kind of spoiler-filled breakdown of the response to Left Behind when it first came out, which was very interesting. It's kind of set the internet on fire for a while there. Definitely worth a read. It's very, very well written. It was huge controversy.
So controversial that some people even said they felt betrayed by the game. I mean,
yes,
fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
You can't beat that. You can't beat controversy on a scale of that on that level when people actually feel betrayed by the game, let down by the creators of The Last of Us. So in that respect, I suppose it's sort of saying, you know, like to those of you that might feel let down by this game, just play Left Behind first. If you still love it, then come and buy the full game. But no, in all seriousness, they've done that is a misstep. I think what would have probably been better would be to take maybe like the first section of the game and release that as a standalone, like the first chapter, if you like, of the game, and release that as a standalone rather than taking the DLC, because without the context.
Well, imagine playing that opening sequence.
I know, man.
The original game. Imagine just playing that. You pay for that alone. That opening sequence. I still stand by that. I think it's the best opening sequence to a game.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't know if there's
stunning.
anything that tops it.
Yeah, it's a stunning opening. Right to the kind of the bit, because if you don't know, again, we're trying to avoid giving too many spoilers here, but early on in the game you kind of play a little bit around the initial outbreak before the game kind of leaps on a few years, and that bit just kind of in the sort of the earliest kind of time in the story is just stunning. And then as it kind of opens up the world, the sort of modern world that you're going to be playing in, it's just fantastic, and just the story builds throughout. I think if it gave you that initial bit, and then kind of, I don't know, even just a little bit of that first kind of, maybe even just up to when you meet Ellie, like from the start of the game to when you meet Ellie, if they made that as a standalone, that's your gateway drug. That's what gets everyone into The Last of Us. But I think, you know, I don't know if Left Behind gives you enough to fall in love with Ellie, to kind of think, oh yeah, I'm on this kid's side. I want to know her story. I want to play her game. And I definitely don't think it gives you enough to kind of, you know, get in touch with
Plus, if
Joel,
if it's
really.
playing her game,
Yeah, yeah.
It's a weird thing because obviously by the time you get to The Last of Us, you're not really playing
Not
her
really,
game.
no.
It's still
it's kind of
predominantly Joel's
yeah.
story.
Obviously, she's a huge feature of it, and it's her story too. But you know, mostly you are gonna be in control of Joel, not Ellie, and so Left Behind kind of sets you up. It's kind of misleading in that way as well. I mean, it is brilliant though. I don't want to say like Left Behind is not a worthwhile experience, but it's made more worthwhile by the fact that you've played through The Last of Us and you know the characters and you know the story and you know the world, and then you get this extra chapter that's like part prequel, part like kind of in the, you know, slots into the narrative you already know, but it has an impact and it changes a lot of your perspectives on things from the main game, and I just don't know that it works backwards. I know I think they're releasing factions as a separate component.
I'm for that though.
Yeah, I'm for that. I'm all for that.
It doesn't detract away from anything. Plus, it was something we saw originally. Remember when PlayStation 4 was first getting announced? I remember seeing Killzone and oh, hello. And I've been taken down. 2 guys. 1 guy's going to drop down as well on me.
Target down!
So another one there, did you say?
Another guy kicking around. I think he's taking out Hikira on our side. But yeah, one thing PlayStation 4 tried to do that I saw in the initial advertisements for it, showed Killzone Shadowfall.
Yeah.
And it showed that the game was downloadable, and you know, that was all exciting. And it showed that the multiplayer had a separate download file.
Yeah.
Something I don't think we've seen actually come to fruition yet.
No, I don't think so. Not on many games anyway, if any. I'm going to get done here.
I've put tons of bullets in this guy and he's just literally walked away.
Well, I'm saying that. I feel like when I loaded up Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, I feel like I had the option to just download the multiplayer on that first. Maybe I might be confusing myself there. I might be mixing that.
I could be wrong on it though, because like I got Killzone originally when the game first came out, and I don't think and I didn't obviously had it as a physical copy, so I didn't really look for the multiplayer. But yeah, they were showing these options to do that, and I think it's something that if you want to get people into it a little bit. Although
I need a minute.
It's weird because the multiplayer obviously for Last of Us is great. We love it. It's unique. But the game does subtly play very differently. Whoa,
Yeah.
I'm getting shot already. I'm not having a good time on this map. And El Diablo on my screen is very, very laggy.
Terrible lag.
Although according to his ping rating on mine, it's not that bad. I don't understand. Maybe it's one of the
It
new
seems to go like that sometimes. Yeah. Lag as a perk could be.
That'd be an infuriating perk.
It's certainly infuriating me right now.
But yeah, shall we move on to maybe the next topic of
Yeah.
the day for this week and all the interesting news stories we've seen? A big one we've seen kicking around was pre-orders. So apparently people, especially in the UK, are not pre-ordering games as much as they used to. It's gone down by something like 23%
Yeah,
last
it's a
year.
big chunk.
So when you're talking like almost a quarter of the people are pre-ordering less. And I think they said, I remember reading like on average a person will make 1 pre-order a year.
Right.
Or something ridiculous like that. Just a bit of action going on here.
Oh no. Sorry, I could have been more use, but I went for the interrogation and I couldn't have done.
I was trying to revive that guy.
Yeah, that was my fault. I could have been so much more helpful there. But I saw the chance for an interrogation and I'm ashamed to say I took it.
You saw
But yeah,
red. You saw red.
I did. Pre-orders, you know, I don't know where I stand on this, because if anything, I kind of understand it. I like the fact that so many games you can just download digitally now kind of takes away that need for pre-order, that fear of not getting it on day one that people used to have. It's like not really a thing, not in the way it was. Wow, minced. Oh, box is getting done. Anyone there?
New.
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, it's a tricky one, I think, the whole pre-order scenario, because I mean, basically, I think the big problem is that your big games that would have been worth pre-ordering in previous generations really haven't felt it.
That's the thing, it was a weird thing that Nick with Call of Duty were talking that there's a downturn in pre-orders.
Yeah.
And everyone said, oh, that's actually just to do with the fact that Call of Duty's got a bit stale, people aren't falling for it anymore. When in fact it turned around that, with the odd exception of say like Watch Dogs, Destiny, and a few other key titles along the way, that a lot of people are actually noticing that people were suffering from the lack of pre-orders. And obviously, from a financial point of view, you know, pre-orders, although not guaranteed, is an indication of how well your game's going to do in securing actual sales. So, as a result of the downturn, we've seen a lot of companies doing in particular exclusive downloadable content if you pre-order it. But there's been a couple of things, like a lot of the time people pre-order the game, they don't necessarily get the content exclusively. People who don't pre-order the game can often end up with this so-called exclusive content. So I think people get wise to that. The one sort of oddly positive thing that came out of this downturn of pre-orders that hasn't really been mentioned is normally in recent last couple of years, if you like, in terms of retail, people have benefited. Well, sorry, the games generally only really sell on the first week.
Right.
Largely due to a huge number of pre-orders being driven, you know, big events in local stores, or the demand for it's like gone through the roof.
Right.
But it could mean that week 2, 3, 4, and 5 suffer greatly. You know, that these extra weeks people would be coming to buy games. It just isn't happening anymore. But apparently, because of the downturn in pre-orders, it is starting to happen a lot more. You are seeing the game staying in the top 5 longer than usual, because normally they'd spend a week in the top 5, maybe 2 if they were lucky. And whilst the companies are saying that the actual first week is still the most important week, the highest sales week, we're starting to see games spend longer times in the chart as a result, which is something that the you know, if you like, the old school retail was about. Yeah,
it's kind of become a very different landscape recently. I mean, I'm not sure. I do think that the future lies in digital downloads, and I think that the deals that you're gonna see are gonna be based very much on those, probably in the not too distant future. Jesus, can't seem to shoot anyone today. Accuracy's all over the shop. I need to switch the loadout. I can get back in a little bit quicker. Not that one. Not that one. Don't think I've got the loadout I want. No, I'll stick with what I've got then.
I got you.
Need that interrogation.
We do need that interrogation. We need it fast.
His mate's coming.
Man, I'm all over the shop in the wrong blooming way.
Haha, and we got said interrogation. That was hard fought. This team are very, very aggressive.
Yeah, we're
not too fussed about plans or tactics. They just believe in all-out shooting.
Yeah, and when we're as we've said before, when we're twitching, we're really not at our best. We're not very good at multitasking and getting the old talk and play down very well. It's not something that comes very naturally to us. I don't think we've quite got what it takes.
Sort of midway point, see if we're able to attack, and if we aren't, then maybe. Ooh, hello.
Oh, has he got part way? Oh, he nearly had it part way.
Oh, damn it. Oh, no. That all went horribly wrong. Horribly wrong.
I had a feeling
threw
it
a
might
bomb,
do.
2 people ran away, and then I had another guy spot me who I didn't realise had spotted me, and it all just went wrong.
All went kind of pear-shaped from there.
Yeah, they're a very runny team, so actually throwing stuff at them's not necessarily the best option.
Oh, I'm getting shot from 2 places at once.
God. I'm having an awful game. I don't know how I've got 2,000 points at all. I've been killed more times than I care to count. Akira's just putting loads of bombs around the safe. Yeah, if one goes off, they all go.
Yeah.
Right there.
Nice. There's lots of people down over here. But this time no one has pushed forward. Now I've actually got quite a lot of stealth on me, so maybe I'd be, if you guys can hold, not that we can speak to the other 2, but I might have a chance of getting in there unseen. But Hiraki's gone that way.
I know I've got a guy up ahead of me somewhere.
Hold up.
He's not coming up on my listen mode.
Okay, got it. Finish. Move out.
So I guess we're going to talk Last of Us tactics whilst this broadcast is going on.
Yeah.
You're going to push up
Oh.
to your stealth. Say that, you've been taken down.
I have been taken down. I'll be dead soon.
My teammates are down.
There we go.
I'm here on my own. Just wait for it all to kick off. I've got a smoke grenade and that's all I've got.
No, I'm with you now. I'll drop a bomb on the box.
Up. Keep pushing up. Oh, guy up ahead. It's over there. Definitely back.
There's one behind, up ahead. Throwing bombs where I'm not.
I think he threw them bombs into the river. That I was more impressed with. I'd never actually seen anybody do that. I think he is directly ahead of you. Yeah.
Wasted my Molotov there.
Sadly. Right, I'll sit back and defend whilst you push forward. Oh.
Flashlight, right there.
Yeah. Guy heavily armoured behind the truck, near where I'm dead. I'm out in, I'll be dead in a second here. There we go, bled out.
I'm watching him run round the other side. I'm just waiting for him.
Right, can't spawn on any of you. That was nicely done. Can spawn on you now.
Yeah, that's how you do it. Oh, you can't spawn on me. I'll just kill the guy who's in your way. Our 2 guys are attacking.
Someone cover me while I take care of this.
He's been hit by a couple of rounds with a burst rifle.
Missed him.
I'm not backing you up, by the way, because I'm the only one.
Someone get over here and help me.
Yeah, we're not winning that fight. Man, I've got so many little blue blobs that I've just forgotten to pick up. I'm terrible at this game.
Bullets at the other side. Not 100% sure why they're making so much noise. Rubbish. Yeah, I don't know about you, I've got a fair bit of lag on my old screen. I have 3 of them now.
Bombs armed, careful.
It's that Ezekiel every time puts me down.
Where's he gone?
I'm blocking him though. Oh, well, I've just died. He's literally crafting something. Oh, we're opening that door. If you actually stop him, we can maybe...
One less to worry about.
I'll defend, we might win. There's 2 over there, there's 2 over here. And that is a cheeky victory.
That was a very cheeky victory. I enjoyed that though, that was good. I think the fact that one of them had to, I assume, probably lagged out at the end is what gifted us the win, but still, a win's a win, and that's what we're playing for at the end of the day. You haven't maxed out the clans anyway. Yeah. So we got a score that was actually not just awful, which we never got that last time. I never got that last time.
It is nice to see.
Oh, we lost them all. Right, so we've spoken pre-orders. We've spoken Last of Us standalone DLC. We did say we'll make a quick mention of the announcement this week about the PS4 sales having topped 22 million.
Yeah,
which is mightily impressive for the age of the console. 22 million.
Right.
They've got to be happy with that, haven't they? What's interesting to me is why? Why is PS4 doing so much better than Xbox One? Especially when we're at a point now when Xbox One isn't significantly worse or significantly better. Neither the consoles, there's hardly anything between them. But PS4 has just dominated. And it's bizarre.
I'm not entirely sure as well, because obviously we saw a lot of price drops for Xbox. Obviously, initially the 350 versus £430.
Yeah, that's got to hurt you.
Price comparison was huge. They dropped the Kinect, then they started dropping the price, and Xbox is around £300, and whilst PlayStation 4 remains £350. And I do know some people who are very adamant they are massive Xbox fans, and that's fine. I own both, and I've always been a Sony fan overall, but I could have argued PS3 and Xbox 360. I'd have argued, they were both great machines, both had their strengths and you'd say they were effectively pound for pound similar, or even if they had the differences, you'd say they're on par with each other as machines.
Yeah.
I would have just personally lent towards the PS3 because of the games.
Yeah. Oh, same here.
I could understand why people lent towards the 360 because of their games. It was personal preference. You could argue that the online service was better with Xbox, but then you'd say, PS3's got Blu-ray and stuff like that. So it was all tit for tat sort of things. And we'll have this argument till the cows come home about, the fanboy argument. But if I'm avoiding it as purely that, say, maybe Xbox still has the better online service. Possibly does.
Yeah.
But I just think it's daft things like I find the Xbox dashboard incredibly confusing. I don't think it's easy to navigate or find things. I find the PlayStation one really friendly and accessible.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward, really.
Xbox,
dead simple.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward, and I think that's something people appreciate.
Yeah.
And I think, as daft as it sounds, install times for games is huge on the Xbox. Sometimes I've had it before when I was trying to install a game. It wouldn't let me do it unless I accepted the update, and I didn't want to accept the update. I just wanted to play the game.
Yeah.
And it's only until I accepted the update that I would actually install the game, which was weird. I've never quite seen that before. Normally you just bypass it and say, I don't want the update, but put the game in. I just would not do it. I had to turn my actual because the Xbox constantly tries to be online. I'm not saying that the PlayStation isn't, but if something's not working, PlayStation will still enable the game to work.
Yeah.
The fact that the Xbox was just constantly should never happen.
Just ridiculous. Yeah, that shouldn't be happening at all.
I'm not saying this happens in everybody's case. Some people will put the game in, they're probably playing within minutes. But I know a lot of people have had issues with the install times, particularly. You know, they can't play a game until a certain point of the installation, which is the same with PlayStation. But
Yeah.
you're generally up and running within a couple of minutes.
I don't never feel like you're taking long, does it?
No, and unfortunately that's a big downside. I think in some respects it's the other aspect I'm curious about, basing this upon no research, purely my opinion on it, is when we look at like several years ago when the Xbox and the PlayStation were in competition with each other. Nintendo obviously had the Wii. And the Wii encouraged casual gamers, like massively, and with that, Xbox decided to capitalise on the whole entertainment package. You know, not really aimed at gamers, but aimed at for everybody. I think this generation of people buying PS4 and Xbox One, if I'm being honest, I think it's largely gamers who are buying it. It's not people just casually having a go at it, like the way I say with the Wii, and I think with the Wii, it encouraged Xbox players, that's what they tapped into.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's necessarily the case with Xbox One and PlayStation. I think it's quite hardcore gamers, and I think Xbox tried to do that multimedia thing again.
Yeah.
It's not that the PlayStation doesn't have those things, but it's still focusing largely on the games. I mean, its tagline is, you know, for the gamers, you know, for the players or whatever, you know, all that kind of thing. While Microsoft is still doing the whole multi-aspect of it. Well, and I'm in trouble. Massively in trouble. 3 people in this bus with me. Yeah,
that's not going to work.
But yeah, I mean, that's just one aspect of part of the ways it's been marketed. Obviously, the initial damage in sales was done with the whole will it play pre-owned games, you have to be online all the time. There was a lot of confusion as to what was happening with that, whilst, you know, it was pretty crystal clear with PlayStation what they were up to.
Oh god, yeah, and then they made it clearer, didn't they? They made it as clear as they bloody could do.
With that
revelled in it.
Little, yeah, they revelled in it.
Yeah.
But you know, in fairness, credit to Sony, their explanation as to why it's better. I don't know if there's any concrete evidence, or that it's something you have to do a quick survey on why one console is infinitely, you know, more popular than the other. Because even though technically PS3 outsold 360, you couldn't say with any clear definition that one is definitely more popular than the other.
No.
Hey, right there!
What's weird is why people, because obviously you're in a unique position of having played and owned both. Whereas I don't think everyone, you know, most people aren't going to be in that position.
No,
I mean, I'm certainly not. I've only played. Yeah.
Sorry, £350 for a console is obviously the largest reason people don't own both. I mean, I've been fortunate, I will admit, but I will admit I lean to my PlayStation more just because I just find it easier to use. I have better games on it. Even though we've talked about this before, games-wise, very few of them, next-gen-wise especially, have been particularly mind-blowing. There's nothing on it that you haven't played before.
Yeah.
Right, where is everybody? It's got very intense in here all of a sudden.
I'm just dying and dying and dying. That's all I was doing.
Getting an interrogation. Hopefully we'll get interrupted. Yeah, so there's one back.
I'm back.
I've got
One more
quite a
to
few
go.
supplies in here from people I've killed, but I've not actually had a chance to pick any of them up. I keep dying at the key moment.
Okay, got it. Fire in the hole.
This has been very hard fought to get this back up to a draw at least.
I know. I'm doing awful as well. I'm not playing well at all. As I say, I can't do the chatting. I can't do the multitasking. My brain gets confused too easily.
Well, I'm upgrading my.
I've got guys here.
Oh, I've been spotted. There's a guy up on the bus on the truck.
Right.
Which I
These guys are kind of aggressive as well. It's all fast guns and heavy armour, which unfortunately my slow ass gun at short range. Shit, enemy nearby. Can't spawn on you. I hate the way it does that. It puts you so... Oh, shit. Guy in our bay. Nah, not gonna get him.
And
No.
we've lost badly.
That was
Lost
just
very
shit.
badly. But
Only
it
marked
bluntly,
2 guys as
that
well.
was poor.
This is me talking on it. I just can't do 2 things at once. But yeah, so summing up, that was only a quick segment anyway, and the quick game helped us out with it. 22 million sales, 22 million plus sales. Oh, and our very hungry clan. For PS4, it's for some reason outstripping the Xbox One still. I can't remember who I was discussing this with the other day. It might have even been something else I was listening to, but they're saying about the fact that the PS4 sort of came out as the PS4, and it's still that, it's still around the 350 quid mark. It's still doing everything it said it would. Though some of the features like the sort of the sort of pause resume features and the stuff it said it would do, it also said, oh well, we won't be able to do that right away, but we'll bring those features out, and the Sims have brought those features out. They've made simple promises, they've led a simple campaign, and they've just done everything that they said they would do. Whereas Xbox One really has sort of launched as this big grand idea, sort of telling you this is what you want, this is the future, and then has basically stripped itself back and changed itself to become essentially another PS4, albeit not quite as powerful. But like you said, the differences really are so negligible at this point that it does just seem to come down to it's almost like Sony's managed to become a brand that you can trust more, because they've just kept to that one single message: this is who we are, this is what we do, this is what's coming. Whereas Xbox have kind of chopped and changed, and well, this is what we were gonna do. People who bought the machine with the Kinect now. I mean, who is gonna make a game for Kinect at this point, really?
This is absolutely nobody. But this is the thing, because like PlayStation's got its camera, but it largely uses it for Twitch.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's the biggest seller. They never really said we're going to make a whole load of games that are going to do this, that, and the other. It was like it's going to use for chat. It's going to use for Twitch. You will find some games that'll work with it.
Yeah, there's going to be the odd
but it's a
gimmicky
nice
thing here,
add-on.
there, and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Like
it was
when
an affordable add-on. If you
I was going to say when
if you compare the £60 camera to the £130 Kinect that you can buy separately, I mean, don't get me wrong, Kinect is a much better camera. It is better in every sense of the word. Something that you use minimally, would you want to pay £130 for it?
Yeah, this is it. I mean, it's ridiculous. And if you got people now basically feel stuck with it, don't they? If you started up with the Kinect, you're like, oh man, how fucking hell did I get shafted? Because now I'm
Did you know?
lumbered with this £130 extra that I'm just, or whatever it is, 80 quid. I don't know how much they sell for separately. I don't know if you can sell them separately at this point, if anyone's even trying.
Well, did you know initially with the Xboxes, the Xbox Ones, they wouldn't actually power on initially unless you had it connected to them.
No, I didn't know that.
In the update. So when you first ever booted it up, you needed to connect in, otherwise it wouldn't boot up. It was almost like you hadn't put the power cord in. It just would not understand. You had to put it on. You had to register your product online, and then you'd have to deactivate your Kinect in the settings. I mean, I don't think that applies now, obviously, because you can buy the console separately, and I think since the original update they've changed those things. Yeah. There was a definite, we're going to enforce this upon you kind of thing. I think that was the...
Copy.
And whilst that seems like a strong word, I think that's the mentality of people that they saw it that way. I don't think it was necessarily enforced, because you've got the option to turn it off.
Yeah.
But I think some people just take umbrance with that, don't
they? I think the fact that it did all that, it almost felt like, and I think this is the kind of the sort of bitter taste left in people's mouths, it sort of felt like they were planning on enforcing it and then changed their minds, if that makes sense. Yeah. And that alone just kind of puts people a little bit on a, on a bit of a downer, really, like, not...
Just wait, so don't jump through that window just yet. Okay, they've got the one's at the window and one's just run to me in the corridor. I think he's seen you.
Yeah, he's seen me. I'm done for.
But I've been saved anyway.
No, I'm not going to get saved, I don't think. No. Well, he did get the guy down, actually, but I'd already been done. But it was my fault. I thought I'd try and flank. I thought more of them had gone to where you were than had done.
No, only two, unfortunately.
Yeah. This is why we don't play in and stream very well.
Because yeah, we can't communicate that extra bit we need to.
I'm sure if we took it to just talking the game, we'd maybe do a little better.
Well, we might say we branch out later, but yeah, there you go. So PlayStation 4, 22.5 million sales is the figure.
Something like that.
Obviously, not had a response from Microsoft yet. Last I checked, it was 12 million sold or shipped.
Yeah, that's the problem with them, is they're using different statistics as well, aren't they, half the time? And again, it's that kind of thing that's misleading. It's like, why not just, they're on, oh, this is, the best, launch they've had as well. And it's like, well, if it is, then stand by it. Stop kind of hiding behind your,
got it.
Your statistics.
I would say, it's like, they've had a great launch. I mean, no one would say 12 million sales within the first year and a half, is it now?
Yeah.
No one would argue that. That's a fantastic achievement, and this is really, really pleased with what, considering as well how much of a poor start they were having. Oh, I got a shiv execution, not an interrogation, unfortunately. But yeah, considering the initial reception to the, as you say, of what they did and the chopping and changing they had to do, 12 million sales is easily very impressive. And it could be more than that because we haven't actually heard anything for a while.
No, that's true.
They had they went down to £300 on their Xboxes recently. We haven't had a sales figure come through since that change. How's he not down?
I'm down.
Nice.
So is he.
There might be another one there.
I think you're right.
I owe you one.
Oh no. No, they're both down.
3 of them down. Got one. There's another one there.
This guy over here. Oh, sorry, I've come running the other way.
It's alright.
Got it.
I've got an interrogation in here. I'm going to try and revive my mate if he doesn't run away. There we go. Nice save. That's gone in our favour.
Right, I really need some health. Is there still a health kit around in this bit? I can't remember.
There's one normally on
Oh,
the table.
I've just been marked. There'd be a guy that side.
Right behind you.
There we go. Healthy again.
Put him down, but he's put me down as well. And his mate's coming to interrogate.
Scratch one.
I'm gonna try and bleed out. Right, but yeah, as we say, well done PlayStation, well done Xbox, and fingers crossed we'll hear some more good stuff and more news coming out of both. I guess the next story for me was something that our writer James Dixon reported on. It's gone across the internet initially that a new Silent Hill game has been cancelled.
Yes.
To the dismay of a lot of people. The initial demo that went up was obviously something that attracted a lot of attention, and now because of Del Toro, who was going to be involved with the project, has quit the project, I believe, and that's the main reason the whole game has just capitulated and disappeared.
I wonder if... I was thinking about this. Oh, we're losing the other team. They're getting too beat up by us. Oh, those connections suck.
Bomb's arm, heads up.
Guy literally up ahead of me. He's actually trying to come behind us all, running back a bit.
Oh shit! Killed him. He's down. I'm going cheeky and steal the interrogation. I did that earlier. I felt awful. I kept quiet about it. I was like, "Oh, I'm broadcasting this. There's no way I'm getting away with that one."
I'm making new friends everywhere I go.
I need a minute. Finish. Move out.
Yeah, the new Silent Hill game cancelled. So you have a theory on that?
Oh yes, I know. Yeah, kind of a half-baked theory, but you know, because there was all the fuss with Kojima recently, and you know, had he left Konami, had he been fired, and you know, as much as we know Kojima likes to kind of dance around with news stories, keep himself in the news for weird reasons, that was certainly one of the weirdest. And no matter what people say, people are like, you know, they think, you know, that there is something to it. It's not maybe not as simple as he's been fired. It's not. It could. People kind of think it's not as simple as he's been fired, and it's certainly not as simple as Kojima's own claim that it's just part of the, or Konami's own claim, I suppose, that it's just part of the rebranding.
Because they're saying they've taken his name down to make sure it's a lot clearer and make it, you know, like that it's just Konami and it's not just one guy who seems
like,
to
keeping it all under
Konami
one.
because, yeah.
Keeping it all under one umbrella, but I mean that's just crap. No, I don't think anyone's buying that. But at the same time, he's also not been fired.
Because the way it's been done has made people think the opposite. I think that's going to be a hard thing for me to share because it's one of the things. They allowed the rumour to sort of just circulate too much. Instead of announcing beforehand, we're going to be rebranding because of this.
Yeah.
They kind of just allowed it to happen, and then it caused people to speculate. It's like, oh, well, why is the name from Metal Gear been, you know, why has his name been taken off Metal Gear? Why has this happened? Why has that happened? You know. And instead of saying it well in advance, that this will be happening, they've just sort of allowed it to happen, and then obviously people will just speculate. Oh, well,
yeah. I literally fell through the map. Tried to spawn on someone, and it was like, there's no floor there. It's let me actually spawn this time. But normally it tells you there's no.
Here and,
might as well. There's no point. No point prolonging it for them, really.
There is only 2 of them. Great. So, you might run in. No, you guys are stopping him.
Oh,
so yeah, I mean,
served me right.
The one big shock was like obviously Del Toro's backed away from this project.
Yeah.
When like a lot of people were shocked by it, and I was like, well, he's backed away from The Hobbit. He was going to work on the live adaptation of Beauty and the Beast or something.
Yeah.
Or some kind of weird thing he was supposed to do, and he backed away from that. And now this is effectively the 3rd project in a row he's backed away from.
Yeah, this is what I mean though. When you've got a guy who's known for backing away from stuff anyway, like, and Kojima starts dicking around with like, oh, I've been fired, oh no, we're rebranding, oh no, I've left the company, oh no, I'm kept on as a freelancer till the end. You know, Del Toro, that's got I'm backing away from this written all over it. You know, like, that is not a secure project. That's not, you know, you don't want to be locked into something because he wants to work with Hideo Kojima for Hideo Kojima to then be like, oh, well, actually, I'm not even part of that company anymore. I'm just finishing up Metal Gear 5 and then I'm off on my own travels or whatever. So it was almost like as soon as they started even just messing around with the idea that Kojima Productions might not be part of Konami anymore, or whatever the situation was, you kind of could see that Del Toro was gone already, because he's backed away from much more secure situations than that one anyway.
Well, look at The Hobbit. That's a sure heckfire win. Even if the movie was brilliant or awful, there was going to be millions of people going to go see it no matter what. Yeah, definitely. That's a win, no matter what. But yeah, obviously the interesting. I mean, I personally think that this project will eventually come about. I will be surprised if they just let Silent Hills disappear. You know, because the demand for it seems pretty high. Because I don't know if you've heard recently the PT demo that people downloaded. Yeah. People were excited about. You know, have you seen on a thing that's been happening apparently on eBay and places like that? People have been selling their PlayStation 4s with PT pre-downloaded for like £1,500 or dollars or whatever.
Yeah. It's like Flappy Bird all over again.
Yeah, well, exactly. It is that, but you know, obviously ridiculous amounts of money for a demo essentially, and you know. Metal Gear, obviously, back in PS2 days, had a very famous demo that people we're more than happy to pay 40, 50 quid for.
Yeah.
But it seems to me that if that's the demand, you would be very silly not to try and capitalise on it and try and bring this project effectively back from the dead.
Watch
No
your
pun
ass.
intended.
Report
Yeah.
yeah. in the area. Got it.
So, and I think they had the famous star, was it Norman, is it Reedus from Walking Dead?
Yeah.
He's meant to be in the game, isn't he? And he tweeted that he was super bummed about
Well,
the
of
whole
course.
thing falling apart. But that might be just something because he's responding to something he's heard. He might know better. I just to say, I don't know whether that's something that's going to happen or whether it's going to fall apart or whether we're going to actually see it come to fruition and they'll just have somebody else behind the project.
Aye, who knows? It wouldn't surprise me if Kojima was still involved. At this point, I would be stunned if Del Toro ever worked a game again, I guess.
Well, that's the thing. With him, I think it's just a case of he will eventually do a project that he wants to do. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how the guy operates, if I'm being really honest. I've seen quite a few of his films, fan of his. But I get the feeling he likes his own creative bubble more than being part of a creative bubble that he's not necessarily starting. You get the feeling he likes to be very much maybe in control of where it's going.
Yeah.
And maybe something like a project like a game, I imagine you don't always have full control over.
No.
Something like The Hobbit, I imagine you wouldn't have full control over because there'll be certain demands.
Too many outer influences.
Whilst Pan's Labyrinth, who's going to tell him what to do in that scenario? That's his baby, effectively.
Yeah. And that film's nuts. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fantastic film.
Great movie, just
seen, like,
crazy.
Backbone and stuff like that. He's a fantastic director. He's a great visual
I
sense.
need some meds.
When it comes
Watch
to
my
horror,
Watch my
even though I wouldn't necessarily class his film as a horror, even though he's got horror elements, he's very good at doing it.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's definitely got skills there. Our buddy's getting, it's coming for you.
Oh, god damn it. His shotgun reloaded a lot quicker than my burst rifle.
Oh,
Although I
we've
thought
all
one was
spawned
round
right the other side of the map, I'm afraid, mate. You are done for.
That's fine. Leave me, go on without me.
Keep an eye out.
But yeah, so will you be purchasing one of the PS4s with the PT demo, or do you have the PT demo?
I do not have the PT demo. In fact, even when everyone was saying, download it now because you'll never get a chance to, I was still not tempted because I'm not a big horror game fan in general.
I got you.
I don't mind
horror
them.
games.
They're alright.
Yeah. I mean, if I'm going to play horror, I have to probably wimp out way too easily.
Yeah.
But, like Last of Us, even though there were some scary bits, I felt compelled to play it. I think that's the thing. Horror games are often there for the scare, and I'm not too concerned about the characters involved sometimes. Not saying they haven't got good gameplay, but it's not necessarily something to keep me involved in the game itself. Last of Us was an
Two down
exception.
here. Oh no.
Oh.
Me down here.
Hunter, look alive.
He's gone right round.
He's down.
Hold on. I can patch you up.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. That's one down.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna steal that.
It's alright. I was coming to help you.
Oh, that's good. I was just swinging a 2x4 wildly. In
I was just trying to make sure
good would come of it.
he stayed away from the old bomb there that someone's put down. But yeah, I thought it's a funny old situation.
Yeah, I think it's a shame for anyone who's a fan of the Silent Hill games. They've often been referred to they're very popular games.
Yeah.
I don't have long.
No, I mean, I did enjoy Silent Hill 2, but it shredded my nerves so much that I was just like, you know what? I don't know that I could
Keep an eye out.
kind of really get into one of these games again. And
Move out.
when PT was just like, when it was not like an incomplete game, and it was barely more than a trailer, and then some of the stuff I heard about how sort of grim it was, and I just thought, it's not for me. And I'm not one for, that's the other thing, people go, oh, it's like £1,000 for your console if it's got such and such on it. But on the flip side, it's like, well, yeah, but it's also got all my other save games on it. It's also got all. I mean, I can upload a lot of it to the cloud now, I guess. But like, this is my PS4. It's got everything that I've kind of played on. God, man, I'm just not staying alive today.
The one thing that they were trying to find out, I'll have to see if this came about, was whether you've actually, those who said, clicked purchase effectively on the demo and have deleted it, whether they can actually re-download it.
I would be surprised.
I'll have to have a look and see if I would be surprised. I think they'll want the demand for it to be a big thing, because this is the thing, whilst I do think there are like genuine concerns that this game could be cancelled, I just think, as I say, that kind of hype you can't buy.
No.
You really, really can't. That's why I get the feeling eventually you'll see this game come back. Whether it be Rob Zombie directing the game or whatever, I don't know. They're gonna get somebody in it, and I think they will, after the thoughts of Del Toro maybe doing it, that they will get somebody who they feel can really do the job, and a big famous film directing name. We are getting surrounded from all sides here.
Smoke's away.
But it also brings me to the point of a thing I'm not necessarily against. It can be a great thing, but they're bringing like a lot of famous actors, a lot of famous directors to bring more profile to games, and obviously there's a large expense that comes with that. We were talking recently, me and you, on our own, about Kevin Spacey being involved with Call of Duty, and predominantly being in it for about a third of the game, and obviously he must have got a nice paycheck from that, no doubt, and I'm sure seeing his face on the trailer helped sell the game. But
definitely,
games like Call of Duty will sell whether he's in it or not. And you think, well, you just spent millions of pounds on a campaign that, let's face it, most people play the multiplayer. Why are we spending so much money? Whoa! Why are we spending so much money on celebrities that day? Oh, hello, I'm down. Spending money on celebrities when we could easily just have a really good voice actor or a really good writer for games, and get just an enjoyable experience out of it anyway.
Yeah, it does seem a bit like we've got all this money. What the hell shall we do with it? Like, what else can we spend it on? It's maybe a bit unfair. I don't know.
I know the huge tax breaks, nothing in comparison to, say, probably paying Kevin Spacey, because the UK gets games tax break, and I think it's like worth something ridiculous, like £1 billion. I'm sure Kevin Spacey £1 billion, sorry. But when you think you've got a tax break, and you think you could save even more money, when you look at these production costs and people complaining that games maybe aren't as good, or the next gen games haven't quite fully developed just yet.
Yeah.
They're not hitting their stride. There's nothing that you haven't played before in terms of AAA games anyway. You're thinking, well, why are you investing money in aspects of the game that do people care about?
It's a fair
should
question.
Del Toro directing it be a thing? Do we care that he directs it? I mean, I like him as a director. I think he's fantastic, and I'm sure he would do a fantastic job. But
I guess
they find someone who doesn't have such a high profile who could direct it just as well and do a great job? We've been having great games for years as it is.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose one argument could be that it puts a game on some people's map that it maybe wouldn't necessarily have otherwise been.
Damn it. Try to shift.
A lot of people will play. A lot of people would play
see what you're saying there. Yeah,
Macheted
'cause,
to
like,
death.
I would, being a Del Toro fan, I would probably lean more to it. Silent Hill's a game I've had a quick go. As I said, Silent Hill 2, pretty much pooped my pants and then decided that I didn't want to play any more of it. But if it was Del Toro, that aspect of it would interest me, because but then again, you know, some certain aspects of his movies really creep me out. You know, I think it's some of the creatures he creates for his movies are freaky as hell.
Yeah.
And very
But freaky as
unsettling.
hell.
Yeah, they're very, very unsettling. You know, that otherworldly quality that certain filmmakers maybe don't achieve. How are we doing over there?
Just getting killed a lot, really.
Oh, that's always good. Oh, someone's opening our base.
Oh,
I'm going
that's
to try
never
and
good.
run in. Probably going
One
to
left
get
to worry about.
shots. Oh, smoke bomb, grenade.
He's still opening it.
He's throwing bombs. Yeah, he is, and I've been Molotov. He had a bomb. They had 2 bombs. Molotov, smoke grenade. They literally didn't seem to run out.
Yeah, it was
you know, when you
not
think,
the best.
Yeah, it's all gone wrong.
Yeah. Oh, we kind of handed that one away. Never mind.
It was really bad. It was one of them moments where you think, oh, they've thrown 3 times now. That'll be enough.
Yeah.
Went round a 4th time round the corner to see, all right, see if I can do something about it, and then got hit by a Molotov.
I always think that box where I always think that one's much easier to open than the one that we were trying to open. Could be
Well, it's
wrong.
because there's
People
that
maybe
downward
disagree.
hill, and if
Yeah.
you're at the top, downward hill is, I think, easier to defend.
Yeah, definitely.
It's not as difficult. And obviously you're throwing bombs downward.
Yeah.
That's easier to obviously hit people with, even if you don't get them exactly. It's enough to throw people off balance.
Yeah, that's it. It just an awkward spot, really, I think.
So I've been talking about another thing that's been mentioned recently is season passes. Obviously, Batman's got a season pass.
An expensive one.
£33 worth of a season pass. Caused a bit of a stare. Although, you know, in fairness to season passes, a lot of people are critical of them because they feel like, oh, the game should be including this content. We're paying £50, £60.
Yeah.
You know, the game, blah blah blah. Unfortunately, you know, season passes, whether we think they're right or wrong, they have become part of gaming culture. People are buying them. They do seem to enjoy them. People pay £35, £40 for Call of Duty and Battlefield. And when you look at the content that you're getting for Batman in particular, you're getting for 6 months straight after the game's release, you're getting a new set of missions every month for a 6-month period.
Yeah.
Which in some respects, if you're a massive Batman fan, that must be great. Obviously, there's like character skins and all the other sort of gubbins that go with that. But I've been looking at certain season passes recently. I'm talking about value for money, and I think I've actually found one that is literally going to blow every single season pass ever made out of the water.
Interesting.
Obviously, Witcher 3, you may have heard, it's about 110, 120 hours. Someone did a speed run in 105 hours, apparently.
A speed run?
A speed run, yeah. You know, when you're talking a speed run, it's 105 hours. I'm assuming it's impressive to do it in that time, but still, that's value for money in a game
Certainly
itself.
is.
Their season pass, right? Apparently, I think I read somewhere it's 20 to 30 hours worth of gameplay, and it's $19.99. I mean, I would quite happily pay 40, 50, 60 quid for a 30-hour game.
Yeah,
Never
Jesus,
mind
they're
a
just sticking it
season
as an
pass.
add-on.
That's just an add-on. So, you know, if obviously you somehow manage to finish Witcher, I don't know when this is going to happen, Witcher 3 that is, if you manage to finish Witcher 3, and for some reason you feel like 120 hours wasn't quite enough, for $19.99 you can get a season pass that's around 20-30 hours. I'm not sure
stunning.
fully of the content. I just
Sweep the
saw
area
that
behind.
element to it and went, right,
Move out. Copy.
that's brilliant. You can't argue with their value for money. You know, some people say, oh, you shouldn't have to pay that. I did hear someone
eye out.
complaining about
Okay,
it,
got
though,
it.
which I was a bit shocked at. I was like, well, why
What
would they
the hell?
complain
What
about
was the
it?
complaint there? Or just that it should have been included? Just they're greedy.
No.
I want more.
A bit of that. It was sort of leaning towards Witcher's never done a season pass before. That's wrong.
Right.
I was just like, right. I mean, I've played a bit of Witcher 2, you know, and everything. Didn't play Witcher 1, which I heard mixed bag about, but
Yeah.
I don't know if those Witcher games last 120 hours.
No idea.
But
It's
you
a
know,
fair old chunk
it's
of game.
the modern world now. Yeah, 120 hours is long, and you know, it's a modern world now where season passes, whether we like them or not, they're there. And
Yeah.
we haven't complained about the season pass for like say Naughty Dog games. I'm an Uncharted 3 fan. I'm quite happy to get the season pass on that game. We've had the season pass for obviously Last of Us. We didn't complain about that at all.
I actually thought that was quite good value for money until I heard the
Yep. The Witcher news.
the Witcher one. Now I feel like Naughty Dog ripped us off. No, I am joking. Naughty Dog. Of course you're watching, and I am joking. We love you.
We love you very much, yes. but yeah, the fact that we didn't get anything extra after buying the season pass in the first place on PS3, we're not upset about that. We're not letting that get to us.
Yeah, not even a little bit. There is no bitterness here.
Oh, bomb at my feet. But yeah, there you go. If you want a season pass, Witcher 3 is the way to go. But you know, £33 for Batman, it probably caused a bit of a stir because Batman's never really had a season pass. It's had I think Origins had a season pass, but I think a lot of people bought the packs separately.
Yeah, I think a lot of people skipped it as well, to be honest. In general,
Yeah,
just skipped the extra content. I skipped the extra content.
I think it was largely because even though Origins got a bit of a bad rep,
Yeah,
it
I
was
think it
still
was-
one of the better games
Yeah.
I played that year. I've played a lot of rubbish, I will admit. So when playing Batman Origins, I was just like, seems a bit harsh, really. Yes, it's not as good as the other two. It's not as dark as the other two. It maybe tone-wise, narrative-wise, wasn't quite up to scratch, but overall the gameplay was still great. Still enjoyed it overall. Wasn't bored playing.
Ah,
Oh, and you're down.
yeah, guy with a fucking revolver or something put me down. He just kept moving.
Got a shorty. Oh,
Oh, is it a shorty?
duck and weave shorty technique, and they've really, really tore us apart in this one.
Yeah, it didn't bother with me actually. I just let me
But
crawl
yeah.
away.
Anyone watching right now, you know, if you've got an opinion on season passes and what season passes are,
Ah, yeah,
valued for
chime
money
in.
off, they're all just
Tell us we're wrong.
rip-offs. Yeah, tell us we're wrong. Is there any season pass you've regretted buying? Is there any season pass you were surprised how good it was, value for money? Do you think season passes are wrong? Do you think DLC is still an issue? Do you think they should just be part of the game? Let us know, either put it in the comments box or visit us on TwinStickGaming.com or visit our Twitter or Facebook pages. You can leave comments there. We'd love to hear what you think.
Absolutely, yeah. For me, for my money, I actually thought that the Last of Us, back when we were just in PS3 era, obviously, I thought the season pass for that was excellent. I honestly did. I thought the value for money was great. I thought the extra maps, the extra stuff we got was really good. I think the fact that it also included, not that you played it, the fact that it included the single player DLC, their first single player DLC at that. Oh, man. And I'm dead, flat out dead, not even a bit alive. Yeah, I thought that was really good. I mean, I was impressed with all the extras I got, map pack and you know that sort of stuff wise. The fact that it then came also with the single player, the sort of stunning single player that it is as well. Well, that didn't end well.
Understatement.
It did end in quite a lot of flames though. It was quite funny.
Hold up. Finish.
Flames are always good. They're fun to watch. I'm very good with flames if I want to like torch myself in this game.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
It's one of your special skills.
It should be a perk, I think. guy.
I think I need to change to something a bit shorter range on this one. We haven't played this map for ages, have we?
No, it has been a little while.
I've got
So let's try that. Rocking around with shorties all if you can't beat them, join them.
Yeah, and I threw a Molotov thinking I got him, but apparently not.
I missed with a Molotov earlier as well.
Right, I think it's time to try and shape up and play this game. Let's skip the news for a few minutes and
Taking a break from the news to see if we
game.
can actually survive
Pull this
around.
5-0 deficit back.
We have put ourselves in a bit of a hole. It's fair
Okay,
to say.
got it.
Right.
Okay, got it.
We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. I believe
You
in
got
our
faith in us?
abilities.
Okay, we shall see.
Bombs armed, heads up.
That buy a bomb on the old box just in case they do try and rush it. Try and slow them down a tad. Right. They're all downstairs. I've got a guy up ahead of me. Just ran down. They're all downstairs.
Oh, Jesus. Man, that is the third Molotov I've thrown, or maybe second, that has failed to hit anyone. Well, I think someone may have died by running through the flames, so they're working with me at least.
Sugar, I'm down. Right,
Okay, got it.
delayed them though. One's dead, the other one's been hit a bit, and the other lot, I'm not 100% sure.
Finish. Move out.
They do like to run a lot, I'll give them the due on that one.
Certainly do.
Right, just pull up and try and go around. Ooh.
Watch them burn.
Not really sure what happened there. I think I just got killed.
Stragglers.
And that was that.
Oh, what? I
Hate
was
that.
thought.
Oh,
and he's
teabagging.
Right. The game has now come to a standstill. We're not going to play the game anymore. It's our thing we do. If anyone teabags us, Oblog, or Oblock, or whatever he's called, he's literally going to be the centre of the attention of the game. We don't care if they win or whatever.
Bombs armed.
Nah,
Look
it's
alive.
all about
And he's going to get
retribution.
there we go. Just did it. That's what you're supposed to do in this game now. You're supposed to taunt people, not teabag them. That's better.
Oh man, I
You've
got put
taunt
down.
them, which takes longer. It takes longer to do a taunt.
Guy in our box,
And
if anyone's there.
I'm here. Just wait for them to make the move. Don't want to get spotted.
Genius 344's shooting him. We are down to 3.
Oh, and he's killed him.
He also died himself.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what he did there.
I got you.
That's weird. I was there, it said revive, hit triangle, and he just died. Bloody.
Maybe it was depression. Whoa.
You know when you just feel like you can't shoot straight at all, and they're just putting holes in your left, right, and centre? I'm having one of those days. Oh. I see the old smoke the box
Right,
trick.
So yeah, smoking the box,
It's a classic for a
panicking,
reason.
freaking out. I'm not 100% sure, I think, what they want to do with that. We've only got one interrogation from this, but it was against the guy who teabagged, so I'm kind of
I'm wounded.
happy with that.
Ah, I got him with the smoke, but he'd already fucking shot me. Yeah, I'm dead.
And they're coming behind me.
Yeah, Zoots is coming behind you.
Downed one.
Oh, now I'm down. I put Oblock down again, which I'm happy with.
Oh, I'm bloody
They killed
miles
me.
away.
Oh, they're opening the box.
Nothing to throw, I'm dead. There's 3 of them watching my entry, so I'm good and fucked. I don't have anything to throw. Really need a... Genius is just not moving. He's got a smoke bomb and he's just sat there. Yeah, we're done.
And we've started way too far back.
Not a chance.
Smoke out. I'm down.
Why the hell did he just sit there? Ironically
Dunno.
named. It's only level 14, he maybe just didn't think. I don't know that if when I was at level 14, I don't know if I would have thought smoke bomb, toss it in to stop them from opening the box. I probably would have done, but I'll try to be fair and nice and non-judgmental. Considering we are the
That's the thing.
top in terms of level, and sucked in that game. No, actually, I say that we were topping our team, but we sucked. We know we sucked.
This game we're gonna maybe try and play it a bit properly, see how things go.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I recently took up the campaign again, and I've been playing it. And I had a look at the amount of times you get the statistics through the game, how many times I've died. And I've got to the bit, as I say, with Henry and Sam.
Yeah.
And just a bit past that. And I've looked at it. I've only died 7 times, which I was a bit surprised at. I thought I died a bit more, maybe, but I think I'm doing all right on that. I think it's largely due to the amount of multiplayer. And sometimes I died stupidly trying to take silly risks.
Yeah.
But do you remember like the scene with Sam and Henry and Ellie and everyone, and you're in that in that place where that family is obviously held up at
spoiler
some
alert.
point and died.
Good viewers.
Yeah. Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! There's a bit in it where you hold up and there's a lot of clickers. Yeah, you've got like a couple of door entrances whilst the Ellie and Sam, the young kids, are trying to get the door open for you.
Yeah.
And I was like, I remember that being quite tough and quite frantic. It was just like, but because of my experience on the multiplayer, and obviously having a bit of a preemptive, I know what's coming.
Yeah.
It just did it like literally one go, no problem, finished. It was. Yeah, so anyone who's struggling with The Last of Us a little bit, give the multiplayer a go. If you get better at that, you're going to find the game a hell of a lot easier.
Yeah.
Ooh, Checkpoint. Probably, if we're being really honest, the best map in the
Yeah,
game.
definitely one of our favourites.
It's so well balanced, this map. I like the fact that there's either end there are buildings you can climb into with upper and lower floors.
Yeah.
You've got the left and right flanks which have buildings as well that you can weave out of, and then you've got the bit in the middle, which not a lot of people use, but it's a nice way to sort of flank people because they don't necessarily see you coming. So
Yeah, it's weird, isn't
see
it?
if we can
Flanking
use
up
that
the
to our
middle rather than
advantage.
at the edges.
Yeah. So it's just them switch between the flanks that people don't see, because obviously going through the middle in most maps,
Alright,
you can
there's
get
scavengers
spotted
in the
quite
area.
easily,
Stick
but
close
the
and keep an
checkpoint
eye out.
one's surprisingly
Sure thing.
one that you can weave between without anyone really noticing you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, so we're on the same team, that's a good start.
It's always a good start, eh?
Right, we've got Oblock again, our new favourite buddy, who will probably, if we manage to kill.
Hold up.
Yeah, if we even if we only get one kill all game and it's him, he's getting taunted, even if it gets me
Well,
killed.
He's in my doorway right now. He's marked me apparently. He can't shoot very well.
They've gone outside.
Every time I hit him, he misses.
Got a straggler!
Right, there's a guy right in front of this thing here.
I'm bleeding out here! Gotcha.
Picking up
Oh, you want it.
FC, whatever his name is, Carlos. Stay low, I'll come bandage you. Well, have you got a guy right on top of you
Careful,
there?
there's a guy right in front of me. There's a
Oh,
guy coming
there is.
right at me. Oh, they got us down.
Don't pick us up, dude.
Don't
Just get out of there.
revive.
Jesus. Yes, they've shot me at
You're
least.
dead.
Right, I've switched loadout now to one that I'm a bit more au fait with. Although I do have a revolver and I'd rather have a shorty.
We only gave away one interrogation during that bout. Right. Oblock's the man to go for. He likes running about though.
Yeah. And we for some reason, we like a good vendetta in favour of like winning the game or
Watch my back.
keeping the clan alive. Just a good vendetta. If you teabag us, we
I need a
we
minute.
don't take it well. We never have.
Finished. Move out.
No, it's normally though by now we might have made the guy pay a bit more, but I remember our
Yeah.
favourite games when we made someone quit the
Okay,
game because all we did
Oh, that
was
was
spend the
ace
entire game
on
killing
survivors.
him.
That was
Yep.
ridiculous. It's quite funny though.
Bomb's armed. Look alive.
You just
One down.
it's just
Oh,
in any game for that matter. To be fair,
well that
I
sucks.
think you should put a taunt button in all games, and then that way teabagging is not necessary.
Yeah. want. Maybe that'd be better with that. Oh,
Is that
I'll
unlocked?
stick with it.
Oh
I'll stick
no,
with
I've
it.
been put down.
Oh, I can't see you either, unfortunately.
I'm being interrogated. Sure who did it. I killed somebody.
One down.
Got a shiv interrogation, which I was pleased with.
Yeah, it was Oblok I just put down. Unfortunately, I'm too far away to doing much about it.
Alright.
Just hanging out in plain
That's
sight
fine.
at the moment, just trying to get a beat on
Well,
where
that's better to
people
worry
are.
about.
Right, they're back over in the 24-hour hotline thing.
Actually, in there, I've got a bomb in there. Whether it's been detonated.
They might be
or not,
further
I don't
back
know.
actually now.
Are they actually trying to shoot you, or
Oh,
are they
yeah,
just
not
firing
yet.
wildly?
Maybe a bit from column A, a bit from column B. Ah, I've been spotted. I knew it'd happen eventually. That was Oblok as well. Put me down.
Ah, I got caught crafting. Very, very disappointed in myself.
Hold on.
Look, you got my back.
It's like, hold on, I can patch you up, but then no one patch me up. I'll patch this guy up, that'll be helpful. Might be
We
able to
should be doing
craft
better
a
than
health
this.
kit.
I'm
Oblok
having
just,
an awful game.
Oblok just threw a...
Ahead. I haven't been gifted parts, that's how bad I'm doing. Wow.
Yeah, he did well.
Hunter, over there. Fire in the hole. Gotcha.
Just in case there's a...
Yeah, he's coming, Oblok's right there.
Appreciate it. Hunter's down. Going down.
I'm gonna get done.
Did
Damn
my
it.
bomb not get anyone?
No, I didn't seem to. I got interrogated instead of Oblok. That's really annoying.
We are having a...
We're not having a good game. We've not really stuck to what we said we were gonna do either. To be fair, we were like, oh, we'll you know, get into the game quietly and focus on it. And we've not really done that either. But never mind. We should be doing better than that. Carlos is F. Carlos is lagging pretty bad. I'm just playing like an idiot though tonight. I don't know, just not getting into it.
Is that one of the loadouts? Playing like an idiot.
Yeah. Oh, nice throw there. That was better. Oh, they're on the shotguns now. Okay. What we got?
Oh, what? Oblok killed me again. Ah.
He's really definitely making us his bitch rather than the other way around.
Yeah.
Which is a bit disappointing, to be honest. But never mind.
What's happening here? Where are they all?
Wow, I cannot shoot this bow at all. Man, that is a lot of shotguns.
Down one.
My bomb got somebody.
Nice.
I don't know what I'm on. No. Yeah. Oh, I don't know.
Oh, saw you come in. I put 3 down.
Nicely done.
One
We
with a
might even
bomb,
have 2.
one by shooting, and this guy here just got interrogated.
I've
I think we just
achieved very
evened the
little.
playing field.
The only thing I've done well tonight is I've killed so many of my clan that despite
Right,
having
that's
a
good, that's
terrible
good, yeah.
game, they're all nearly healthy. Because I've only got 31 of them left. No, 31 supplies I need, whatever clan size that is. Missed this guy. Oh man, where are they? They're just everywhere. Zoo. Killing my ass. There we go. I just seem to be on. You know, I'll tell you what the problem is, and it is really daft. that'll have to do. But I have faffed around experimenting with my loadouts.
Your loadouts.
So much lately that... Damn it. That was upstairs. Bloody Oblock again's back here.
Is he? Yeah.
With his shotguns.
Pay him a visit.
His
My
stack of
confidence is growing. I've had a
shotguns.
bit of a good shotguns. Brilliant.
I'm just going to try and march up to their lockbox bold as brass. I'm not gonna run, I'm not gonna look, I'm just gonna walk. Oh, they've seen me.
Oh, they're up now.
They did leave someone back for theirs, that's good to know. Anyone at ours? Or...
Yeah. I wonder how we managed to get by so we... Oh, hello. Right, so you're gonna go for theirs then. Go for it.
Keep an eye out.
Go Team Spookle Beans.
Oh no, it looks like assassin kills going for it instead. I'll let him go.
One of our guys is staying back, FC Carlos.
Finished. Move out.
2 of them are in that liquor store. They said. Oh, beautiful. Do you know what's annoying? You weren't even aiming for me. Still hit me. He's aiming at you.
Yeah, I know, he put me down. Oh, he was using a bloody shorty though, so the spread's pretty good. That was annoying. Can't spawn an enemy. You punch him good. Nice.
I like
Oh,
something more
crap.
definitive.
Fire in the hole.
He took you down.
Yeah, of course. He's using a shorty and I'm using a bloody pea shooter.
Hold on.
I think I'm just got thrown. Oh, that was beautiful. Our team is slowly picking up the pace. Is what we want and need. Although no one's defending our base again. I'm on the outside here, what we're doing.
Take point. Got a patch.
There's a lot of them by their box back here. If I had something to throw, they'd be in trouble right now. Sadly, I don't.
This guy. Ooh.
Oh,
He's in trouble.
I'm actually going to take the time to execute this motherfucker. And then I'm going to dust myself off on him.
I need some meds. Watch my back. Keep an eye out.
Apparently
Right,
we're opening their lockbox.
took a long time to achieve.
Right.
That's one down. Right. One less straggler to worry about. Bombs on. Ah, wounded. Scratch one. Ah, wounded.
He's ruining my day. There's a guy coming around behind me, I think.
Straggler.
Yeah.
Ah, I'm
Fucker.
down.
Nearly had him.
I got you.
There's too many.
I'm down.
Didn't realise I had that little health left. Slow revive. I thought we had them then. I genuinely thought we had them.
That would have been nice. I don't mind. I've managed to put down. What's his name? Guy who keeps handing us our asses because he's clearly way better than we are, but we're bitching and moaning about him. You shouldn't teabag though. That's what I'd say. Just be better than us. You know, shoot us, taunt us, do as you like.
Ah, I got caught.
I don't like that.
Getting around the corner as well, and then the other player turned up. There's 2 in that store. The 24-hour one. Can't spawn on any of you because you're auto-execute. Ooh, hello. Now, do I let these guys hold position?
I'm just being noisy. That's my new
Sounds like
tactic.
a plan.
Run around like a nutter and get shot to death. I'm embracing my natural skills.
I might have to go across that side and help our guy out. He's on his own. Oh, you think he got him? He did.
Got him?
I think we've maybe got a guy in the fire truck.
Yeah. Another one dropped down behind you. Did my bomb actually go off? Or did it not register that I'd thrown it? No, it didn't register. On my screen it showed that I'd thrown it, but according to this, I've actually still got it. I'll go throw it now instead.
Someone's coming. Oh!
Bombs armed, left side.
People stop shooting me.
Oh man. Bloody oblong
Every
again.
time I kept trying to heal myself,
The man's a demon.
he just clipped me with that shorty. He just kept clipping me ever so slightly, stopping me
No,
from
I
healing
like to
myself
spawn on, no,
every
I like
single
to
time.
spawn on, no, I like to spawn on.
Yeah, we're all dead. We just have to all hope we spawn in time before they get to our
Oh
box.
no.
Oh, they are running for it as
Of
well.
course they are, they're on their way.
Alright, let's all just watch this box.
It's about to get crazy in here, isn't it?
Probably.
Right, there have at least some of them gone over the other side. Yeah, killed. Oh no, I didn't kill one of them. His armor protected him. His armor's all over the floor in flames, but I'm dead. I'm no good to
Top
anyone.
block's going for the box.
Just need
Oh,
to
I'm
keep
guessing
launching
just got
bullets in there. Shoot him
I
at.
might have
Shoot his
to
ass.
talk. I might have to talk.
Do it. Do it, do it, do it. No, I'm not going to be there in time. Someone taunt for me. We're
you know
so
what I'm even more
petty,
happy
it's
about?
terrible.
That's what The Last of Us turns into.
I
just
know,
petty
it's awful,
behaviour.
isn't it?
Forget the apocalypse. It's just,
See if I
let's
can
just
actually
set
get
some
this.
personal vendettas.
Oh man, he's only level 97 as well. He'll be laughing at us. He's a
Hey,
good
I
player.
outscored
Good
him.
player.
I'm not laughing. Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's definitely a good
Look,
shot.
I didn't outscore him. I was terrible. Oh, right, actually, I better try and sort my my gear out while I can. Right, switch to that. What do I want here?
I started off pretty
strategist.
poor, but I managed to get something good out of it. I got 4 defensive downs. I think that really helped.
Yeah.
Normally, I'm racking
can't
up a
afford it
fair
on
few
that.
more
Leave
than
that as
that,
is.
but, there you go. Ah, we're down to just me and you again. So yeah, was there any other news stories we're going over, or I think we're pretty
I
much...
think we've covered it. The only other thing was the sort of semi-announcement of Watch Dogs 2, which I know
Oh,
wasn't an actual announcement. It's something that is one of these that was cropped up on a guy's CV or something like that. You know,
see,
like
this kind of stuff I
happens all the
find
time.
really hard to believe that. Oh,
Yeah,
I
yeah, me too.
accidentally put it on my CV. On was it his LinkedIn thing?
Yeah, something like
apparently
that.
appeared there. You know, like when you join these companies, they always say, "Do not talk about this. Do not post this on your blog, your Facebook, your Twitter. You know, don't let anybody know. Don't even tell your friends and families what you're working on, even though you might let that slip. But you know, you're not supposed to post it." And all of a sudden, secretly somewhere on some guy's CV appears this. I mean, it's not exactly a surprise that Watch Dogs 2 is under production. You know,
No, not at all.
And despite some mixed responses of the game, I think it was harshly criticised. I think it was largely due to the hype machine behind the original game. It was like touted as this amazing game where you can almost do anything. You know, you were living the life of a hacker.
Yeah.
Not quite. It's got some very linear, generic gameplay and stuff, and the character's a bit dull. But it does have some like interesting aspects to its gameplay, and some parts of it were really fun to play. And I think it got criticised heavily. If you take it for what it is, it's a relatively enjoyable, playable, a little bit predictable, but also surprising in a couple of places game.
Yeah.
That would be the way I'd personally describe it. But Watch Dogs 2, no surprise that that's coming out. I reckon even if
none at all.
you know the criticisms of it came afterwards, people would probably still be giving Watch Dogs 2 an opportunity.
Yeah.
You know, because I think the biggest thing for a lot of people is Ubisoft at the moment is, you know, Watch Dogs 2 was a bit of a disappointment, the crew was a disappointment, Assassin's Creed Unity obviously had a lot of problems at launch. I think people predominantly enjoyed the game, but had difficulties with the game. Especially scary, faceless people dotted around the game. That was a particular
Still not played
nice
it.
glitch that they had
Still
going.
not played that one.
Well, this is the thing, yeah. I've played a little bit, seen a little bit in action. You know, it does look good, but it's if it's that far removed from your typical Assassin's Creed game, I will be surprised. But yeah, you know, once again, another solid, enjoyable game from Ubisoft. But a lot of people have they've become recently, like a couple of years ago, we were talking about, oh, look at Ubisoft, look how strong they've become. Their back catalogue's looking really, really good. Their future titles are looking really, really good. And they became one, no matter how much you might despise EA, they are the biggest games company out there, along with Activision. There's no stopping those two.
No,
and Ubisoft, you know, in reality, okay, they're not quite up there with them, but they look like the sort of almost third choice of a sort of developer.
Yeah.
That wasn't an in-house developer.
They're up there, definitely.
But recently there seems to be a lot of hate towards them. But I think largely because, you know, buying games that aren't finished, or you know, got a lot of problems, and that should be a criticism, because I'm critical of any game that requires a patch. To be fair, not games don't need patching. That glitches you don't foresee happening. I can.
Another guy coming.
But yeah, I'm a little critical because people are like, well, you know, you need patches, is what online's for, but not everyone's got online. Not everyone's got
No, this is it. So you just stuck with a broken game.
Yeah, and that essentially is wrong.
Yeah.
That's the biggest problem. Oh, I think they're upstairs. So yeah, Watch Dogs 2. Well, you know, no surprise. We'll see.
Yeah, I think
I haven't finished Watch Dogs yet.
No, me neither. That's on our pile of shame.
Yeah, definitely. So I don't know what became of Aidan Pierce. You know, whether he had a tragic end or a hero's end, whether it had a cryptic cliffhanger end.
I'm sure it's fine.
Ooh, I'm down.
Watch my back.
Bomb took him down. He's down. What about his mates there? So yeah, Watch Dogs 2. You know, I personally am sort of looking forward to it. I'm hoping we'll get some marked improvements. One of the biggest criticisms, strangely, even though I don't think it's a focal point of the game, although getting from A to B is a focal point, but the driving aspects of it. I mean, there's a good chunk of the game that's about driving, but obviously the good chunk of the game that's about a lot of other things. But the driving was under a lot of criticism. By and large, because the game didn't feel particularly realistic. The amount of times you could bust your car up, and it wasn't really an issue.
Yeah.
I need some meds.
You can't just seem to walk away with barely a dent on it. It was a bit weird. And in fairness, most cars didn't feel particularly different to drive from each other. They felt relatively similar.
Yeah. I didn't really mind the driving though, to be honest. It was very much just a functional element of the game. Get your characters from A to B.
Yeah, I found that.
It was fine. It did the job. It didn't bother me. I wasn't like thinking, oh man, I really wish all these cars felt really different.
Okay, got it.
You know,
it was just weird. The amount of people I heard complain about it was a bit surprising for me. I admit it wasn't the best driving experience, but you know, as you say, getting you from A to B wasn't an issue.
Yeah.
The one thing I did like about it, and you know, I've come into a bit of debate with people about this, because I do like GTA, and I think GTA is a great game. Its ambition's massive. But the one thing I did like about Watch Dogs, and this is where I made the criticism here, is I thought the shooting mechanics on Watch Dogs were better. Just a bit smoother, a bit easier to use. I felt like Grand Theft Auto was a little bit all over the place with its shooting mechanics at times.
Ah, it just
which I
had those
never
sort
really
of
got with
punkier.
Red Dead. Yeah, I never got that with Red Dead though.
Oh,
I always
I
felt
got
Red
shiv.
Dead was really smooth.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I don't know, I just, for all the hype and special things that GTA did, I just didn't get me involved. I just didn't get on board with it. I don't know why. Can't really specifically say what it was about GTA 5 that kind of left me feeling just a bit cold. In some ways, I kind of think was it just the experience of playing something like The Last of Us, which had such kind of deep, meaningful characters.
I think I just got gypped. As we know on The Last of Us with melee combat, if you hit someone 4 times with punches, that's it, whether they're wearing body armor or not, and this guy wasn't. And yet, it wasn't enough, and he hit me with, in the end, 6 punches and put me down, so I'm assuming we had a bit of a lag out sound issue there. No bombs.
I'm wounded. Hold on.
Oh, Gatsy, right.
I see him.
Forget me.
I need some meds. Watch my back.
He doesn't know where you are, I don't think.
Right, I'm out of here.
Yep, bug out. It's a tight game, let's not give away the interrogations. We've got a guy covering. Doesn't feel a bit bold, don't worry about it.
Finish. Move out.
Yeah, but there you go. Watch Dogs 2 is apparently on the way. Surprise, surprise. Along with all the other games Ubisoft is supposed to be making, like The Division and Rainbow Six and God knows what else. We'll see what happens with that one.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah. I feel we're more likely to see. Oh man. Damn it.
I'm down.
I've got it.
Someone get over here and help me. Bugged away. One down. Scratch one.
So what do you think we're more likely to see?
I've totally forgotten what I was saying. I got caught up in the kind of madness of The Last of Us for a second there, and I was like, yeah, what the hell am I talking about? Sure, I had a real good point to make.
Oh, bollocks. Did my bomb get him? Yes. That's brilliant. His bomb took me down, but I didn't. I placed a bomb myself and I assumed it was going to trigger mine. Luckily, it didn't. So when he came running after me, he got a face full of my bomb. I don't know what that means. That's like some crazy ass sentence, you know. Next, I'll be saying, "I'm down with that kids."
Yeah, man.
Jesus.
And we'll be taken straight off the air.
Yeah. And I've just given away an interrogation. Oh dear. Right.
Looks like so is Zed Llama.
Yeah, it's about to get very even very quickly.
It certainly is. We have just...
Right, they are giving this game away.
Yeah, pretty much.
Right, they're all in this bar, there's at least 2 if not 3 of them.
Oh man, there's one coming for me. Smoke bomb I can make.
Let's smoke out.
Ouch! Being revived, this is good. No one's
I was
defending
going
our
to say there's
base.
no one at our bay. It would be the
Granted, I
downside.
think we've just killed 2 of them there. Whoa, will people stop throwing stuff at me every time I'm trying to bandage myself?